What is up, bros, and welcome to the All Bros podcast. I am Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And we are a couple of aspiring filmmakers that also love to... Wait, shit. God damn. We are a couple of aspiring filmmakers that love to watch and critique movies, but also enjoy a bit of the nerd life. When I don't say this shit for 2 weeks, apparently my brain is just like, F you, and forgets it.
Yeah, no joke. Dude, I'm wondering if we should change that. Like, is that, like, be real, is that, like, a goal you're still shooting for?
Dude, honestly, at this point, I don't even know what my, career goals are anymore.
Yeah,
I'm,
I think...
so in limbo now.
Yeah, I feel like we're more on the path to be, like, film critics than we are to be filmmakers.
And you know what? I'm cool with that. I actually love critiquing movies, so...
I mean, yeah, we have I would freaking hope so. We have 220
No, I actually...
episodes.
You know what? I feel it's time to tell you I absolutely hate doing this. So, you know what? I'm out. I'll still keep doing the Gacy Gazette, but I'm not doing the All Bros anymore. I'm branching off, man. Can't hold me down.
Oh, man. Yeah, so I'm we'll talk about it, but maybe that intro should change.
Okay. Time that we change it in 220 episodes.
Yeah, it's about time.
What is that, 4 years?
Just about.
Damn, we've been doing this shit for 4 years. Wow,
yeah,
that's awesome.
We started back in November of 2017.
God damn.
Yeah, so
I forgot that we've been doing shit for that long. I mean, it's awesome. I'm so happy how far the All Bros have come, but holy shit. Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
And you guys
our podcast is almost
yet.
Old enough to go to kindergarten.
Yes. Woo.
Yeah, so look forward to a possible new intro next week.
Yeah. Also look forward to a surprise next week. I'm not going to say anything, but so yeah. So we ain't got shit for 4K Spotlight because literally everything came out last week. So if you want to know what came out last week, Uncharted came out on 4K, as well as all of the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies were released individually on 4K. So if you guys want to pick any of those up, go ahead. I'm gonna pick up Uncharted, but Steelbook $50. F you. That's all I'm gonna say. And then the frickin' the 4K cover, I don't know why this pisses me off, but it only has Tom Holland on the front, and then on the back it has Mark Wahlberg. I'm like,
what?
No, they should both be on the cover.
Yeah, what the hell's up with that?
Yeah, so that's kind of what's stopping me from buying. I don't know when it's like $20, so I Uncharted on 4K. But anyway, so that came out last week. If you guys wanted to pick any of those up. And then we ain't got shit for Through the Wall. Excuse me. Or at least nothing that we really want to talk about.
Yeah. I'm going to make a quick apology, just real fast, just because I've noticed that we're having a lot of cutoff. Yeah, if there's a lot of gaps and shit, I'll try to remove what I can, but my Wi-Fi's been acting super shitty lately. We're actually going to have someone come on Friday to check it out.
You have Xfinity, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that sucks. They're usually the best. I freaking love Xfinity.
Yeah, I know. They've been great so far. It's just for whatever reason it's been acting up something horrible.
Interesting.
And so we're going to get that checked out and see what's going on. But this episode might be a little funky. Hopefully it's not. But
yeah, hopefully it's not too bad.
Yeah, but just in case you hear a lot of sketchy shit, just know that that's not normal.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, nothing for Through the Wall, nothing we want to talk about. So, moving into our which will be our breakdown of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Caleb, what do you see started?
Oh man, dude, you were just cutting out like something awful.
Oh shit.
Here, I'm going. Alright, so we shut off video chat. Hopefully that saves us some bandwidth. But Rose, what were you saying?
I was going to say, so since we ain't got nothing for 4K Spotlight or Through the Wall, what do you say we just get into our headliner of the evening?
I say let's do it.
Sweet.
Every day, we're surrounded by media. Books, movies, art, music, games, apps, podcasts, etc., etc. With this constant bombardment, it's easy to miss great media gems in the chaos. But fret not, you've come to the right place, my friend. I'm Jason, and I love media. I invite you to check out the Mixed Media Forest podcast, the podcast where I trudge through the forests of media to find hidden gems for you, the listener. Every episode of Mixed Media Forest is chock full of fun, reviews, nostalgia, positivity, news, rants, stories, and recommendations about all things media. Again, that's the Mixed Media Forest podcast, created on Anchor Podcasting app and available everywhere fine podcasts can be found. Give it a listen. It's what all the cool kids are doing.
Can I go?
Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm so used to your cues.
I know, we got rid of the freaking indicators.
All right. So for this week's All Bros headliner, we will be breaking down the highly anticipated sequel, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So, Caleb, do you want to tell everybody how we break down movies on this podcast?
Hell yeah. If you are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros letter grade. The 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then we give it our own personal grade at the very end. All of those numbers get magically added up and spat through our algorithm and gives us a schoolhouse letter grade to base this movie off of.
Yeah.
Or to compare all of the movies. So, anyway, without further ado, if you have not seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we are about to spoil the entire freaking movie for you, so do not listen past this point if you have not seen the movie. You have been properly warned.
If it honestly hasn't been spoiled yet for you, that is truly incredible. I'm amazed that I actually was able to avoid spoilers, because I didn't see this until the Tuesday after it came out.
That
I'm
is
amazed.
a feat. That is a major feat.
Dude, and I wasn't like avoiding social media or anything. Literally everything whenever I saw something Doctor Strange, I just scrolled past it as fast as I could.
Dude, that's awesome, because I actually had a spoiler, so I saw it on Thursday, the first day it came out.
Yeah.
Seriously, I freaking drove from Orlando. I left at 10 in the morning, got to my theater at 4, and sat down to see Doctor Strange.
That is commitment.
Yeah, so it was freaking awesome. But yeah, I saw spoilers the next day.
Okay, I will say that one thing was spoiled for me. It was just an appearance. Okay, it was an appearance, and I won't say anything until I actually read the.
Okay.
The
so yeah, if
story.
you have not seen this movie, spoiler alert ahead. You have been properly warned, and if you listen past this point and something gets ruined for you, it's your own damn fault.
Damn right. Okay, so America Chavez and a version of Stephen Strange are chased by a demon in the space between universes while searching for the Book of Ashanti. Excuse. Okay, wait. Strange is killed. Chav accidentally creates a portal that transports herself and Strange's corpse to Earth 616, where that universe's version of Strange rescues Chavez from an octopus demon with help from the Sorcerer Supreme Wong. Chavez explains that the demons are hunting her because she has the power to travel through the multiverse. Recognizing witchcraft runes on the demon, Strange consults with Wanda Maximoff for help but realizes that she is responsible for the attacks. After acquiring the Darkhold and becoming the Scarlet Witch, Maximoff believes that controlling Chavez's powers will allow her to reunite with Billy and Tommy, the children she created during her time in Westview. When Strange refuses to surrender Chavez, Maximoff attacks is it Kamartaj? Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Okay. Killing many sorcerers. Chavez accidentally transports herself and Strange to Earth 838, while Maximoff uses the Darkhold to dreamwalk, taking control of her Earth 838 counterpart, who lives in a suburban life with her own Billy and Tommy. The surviving sorceress sacrifices herself to destroy the Darkhold and break the dreamwalk. Enraged, Maximoff forces Wong to lead her to Mount Wundagore, a forbidden ancient ruin to reestablish the Dreamwalk. While searching for help, Strange and Chavez are apprehended by Earth 838's Sorcerer Supreme Carl Mordo and brought before the Illuminati, a group consisting of Mordo, Peggy Carter, Blackagar Boltagon, Maria Rambeau, Reed Richards, and Charles Xavier. They explain that through reckless use of their universe's Darkhold in an attempt to defeat Thanos, Earth 838's Strange triggered a universe-destroying incursion. After defeating Thanos, the Illuminati killed their Strange to prevent him from causing more harm. Mordo believes that Earth 616's Strange is similarly dangerous, but Maximoff reestablishes her dreamwalk at Mount Wundagore and arrives in her Earth 838 counterpart's body before they can pass judgment. She slaughters all of the Illuminati members except Mordo, while Strange and Chavez escape with help from the Earth 838 counterpart of Strange's ex-fiancée, Christine Palmer, a scientist working with the Illuminati. Strange, Chavez, and Palmer enter the space between universes to find the Book of Ashanti, the antithesis to the Darkhold, but Maximoff appears and destroys it. She then takes over Chavez's mind, using her powers to send the others to an incursion-destroyed universe. Back in Earth 616, Maximoff begins the spell to take Chavez's powers. Wow, I'm horrible at grammar. Sorry, there's a period after that. Wow. Maximoff begins the spell to take Chavez's powers. Strange defeats the destroyed universe's Strange, who has been corrupted by his universe's Darkhold, and uses it to dreamwalk in the corpse of the deceased alternate Strange that Chavez was with earlier. With Wong's help, Strange saves Chavez from Maximoff and encourages Chavez to use her abilities. She transports Maximoff to Earth 838, where she sees Billy and Tommy recoil from her in fear while crying for their real mother. Maximoff relents and uses her powers to bring down Mount Wundagore, destroying all copies of the Darkhold throughout the multiverse and apparently sacrificing herself in the process. I actually love that they put apparently, because it's never actually said if she died or not. I do appreciate that they did say that.
Dude, freaking, if there's no body, I don't believe it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That was my big thing. Like, when I saw it, I was just like, okay, we just saw a giant-ass building fall on her. We did not see her body. She's not dead.
Yeah. And, I mean, come on, you just got the Scarlet Witch started. Like, why would you kill her off?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and it's Elizabeth Olsen. Never kill her off. Chavez returns Strange and Palmer to their respective universes. Sometime later, Kamartaj is repaired as the surviving sorcerers, joined by Chavez, continue training. Strange develops a third eye as a result of using the Darkhold and dreamwalking into a corpse. Yeah, that was quite a scene. I was just like, yeah, like, it is really a horror movie. This is some scary shit. I never, like, jumped, but, like, some of the stuff he saw and seen was pretty terrifying. In a mid-credit scene, Strange is approached by a sorceress who warns him that his actions have triggered an incursion that he must help fix. Strange follows her into the dark dimension.
Yeah, and for those of you unfamiliar, it was confirmed that that is a character known as Clea.
Yeah, didn't like Charlize Theron confirm that like today or like the other day?
Yeah. Which I still think it's a little early to be sharing spoilers, but whatever.
I mean, I agree. I mean, hell, freaking dude, I was scrolling through TikTok, and this one pissed me off. I was scrolling through TikTok, and they're just like, spoilers, Doctor Strange 2, Reed Richards introduction. I'm like, you son of a bitch!
Is that's the spoiler you got?
Yeah.
Bro.
I know, freaking... Like, don't get me wrong, Hawkeye is my favorite superhero, but Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, has always been my favorite member of the Fantastic Four, and he's definitely up there with my other favorite superheroes. So, I was freaking hyped, but I was very, very mad that I got spoiled. I didn't see, like, who was playing him. So, in the movie, because I straight up thought when they announced Reed Richards, I'm like, okay, did they bring back Lone Grufford to play him? But when they actually showed John Krasinski as Reed Richards, dude, my mouth freaking dropped. Oh my god, they actually did it?
I know.
I was in awe. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I love the cast voice of Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
It's a great choice. It is an amazing choice.
Don't get me started with the suit. Oh, so good.
Personally, would have gone for white, like instead of the black.
Okay, fair.
But other than that, like, it was a freaking amazing suit, which we'll get into.
Yeah. But did he have white on the sides of his hair?
I want to say yes.
Okay, I can tell.
I think they were just, like, they were very subtle. It was more like a silver than white. I
mean, I feel he's definitely more of a very younger Reed Richards.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, hopefully those get a little bit more, like, those stand out a bit more down the line.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I also believe it was confirmed that he will be portraying Reed Richards down the line.
Yes!
Yeah, so this wasn't just like a one-off thing.
Dude, that makes me so happy.
Yeah. So just getting straight into the story, dude. I know, like, there was, like, so many people, like, that I talked to. Like, there was one lady at work who hated this movie. And I have I tried talking to her about it. She could not give me, like, a good reason why she didn't like this movie.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, I'm like, okay, if you just don't like this movie, like, fine, whatever. But if she was making the claim, like, oh, this is the worst MCU movie, like, ever. And I'm like, even worse than Thor: The Dark World?
I was just about to say that. I'm like, you remember that one, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, or The Incredible Hulk? Like,
I feel that movie sometimes gets too much hate, but that's just me.
As a Hulk fan, like, arguable.
Yeah, I feel it's different for you. Which is understandable.
Yeah, so I was just like, really? Compared to those? And she's just like, oh yeah, like, I like those ones way more. And I'm like,
how could someone like Thor: The Dark World?
Yeah,
like, I really want to know.
I mean, Thor: The Dark World is a bad MCU movie, which is still better than other movies.
It's just boring as shit.
It is. Yeah. But I was just like, I will not be taking any movie recommendations from you. Like, ever. But she was just like, oh, it didn't have, like, a happy ending. And she's like, and it's just like, it didn't have a lot of action. It was just very dark. Shit. And I'm like, yeah, this is Marvel's dive into horror.
Yeah.
And
they killed it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, did they kill it, dude?
Dude, freaking no action, my ass.
Yeah.
Did she see when Wong and Strange were fighting that octopus? Freaking Wong was just going freaking ham on that thing.
No joke.
Badass.
Oh my gosh, dude. When they freaking ripped the eye out, I wanted to throw up.
Yes, seriously, I'm like, ugh. Yeah, that was a little much.
Yeah, that was insane. And like just like so much, like there were so many horror themes throughout this. It was just crazy intense. And I was trying to explain to her, I'm like, Marvel movies, they now, like, at least lately, they've very seldomly ever ended with like a happy ending. They'll end on a light note, but the ending is not particularly happy.
Yeah.
Like I'm at least with like Phase 4, because like Black Widow like ends with you saying Natasha's grave.
Yeah.
No Way Home like basically ends with everyone forgetting who the hell Peter Parker is.
That's okay. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That was the thing that thank you for jogging my memory. That's what my problem was. Okay, so when Strange casted that spell, everyone forgot that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, or who Peter Parker was. Didn't that count Strange and Wong?
Yes.
So then when they're at the I mean, I don't know how long this takes place after No Way Home, but when they're like talking to America Chavez about, Spider-Man, about him, being able to shoot his webs and everything, I'm like, okay, wait, hold the phone. I thought you basically made Spider-Man non-existent.
No, they made people forget that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Or
Okay.
basically made people forget that Peter Parker ever existed.
Okay.
So they, like, you remember at the end when Peter is at Aunt May's grave and Happy comes?
Yes.
And, like, he says, oh, I knew her through Spider-Man, and Happy was like, oh yeah, me too. Like, they know who Spider-Man is, they know that he's helped the Avengers, but they just don't know who he is.
Okay. I don't know why that didn't click in my head. Okay. I take that all back.
Yeah, so it's like... I
when they like said that, I'm like, super... okay, wait, hold the phone.
Yeah, I love that. Shit, what was my point with that?
I'm sorry if I cut you off.
No, you're good. I forgot where I was going. Balls. I completely spaced it. Anyway, like I freaking loved all of this stuff that they attempted to do with this. Like all the horror, and dude, when they like I kind of had the feeling that Wanda was going to end up being the bad guy.
Well, because actually, apparently, because I was looking through that Wikipedia page, apparently, because I don't know if you knew, this script actually went through like a lot of rewrites recently. Like that's why it got pushed back so much, because like the first showing that they showed to audiences, like they hated it, so they actually had to change a lot. But the reason why Wanda became, I don't think it was originally planned for that, but after Sam Raimi saw WandaVision, he's just like, yeah, Wanda's going to be my villain now.
I respect that.
I do
so
too.
much. That was another problem that my coworker had a problem with. She was saying, like, I don't understand why they didn't have like a normal villain. Like, why does it have to be hero versus hero? I'm like, because that's way more interesting.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is so much more interesting than, someone's doing bad, let's go defeat them. Like, no, like now people are challenging what happens when a hero goes bad. Like, that is such a more interesting story than like a criminal getting superpowers or whatever the hell.
Agree.
Like, it's so, and then like just her motivations too. Like, she wants to get to a universe. Like, her intentions seem pure. Like when you kind of write them down, it's just kind of how she's going about it.
Yeah.
And then I do feel in my heart that this movie may have suffered from because of those who had not seen WandaVision.
I agree. Oh yeah, if you haven't seen WandaVision, oh my god, I feel bad because yeah, you're probably like freaking lost and you don't understand the why she loves her children so much. I mean, she's a mother, of course, but everything that woman went through in that show is completely understandable.
Yeah. Like, we
I can't
get
be
it.
mad. Yeah, I can't be mad at her actions, or at least not that much.
Dude, I was on her team. Like, when she was like, at least for like the first little bit, like when they pulled that like reveal where where Doctor Strange was like, hey, we have this girl, and then she said America's name, and I was just like, wait, he didn't say her name. And then and then Doctor Strange pulled that too, and he's like, hey, she's like, I didn't say her name, did I? And I'm like,
well, no, she says, she's just like, you didn't say her name, did you? He's just
yeah,
like, no, I didn't.
Dude, I audibly gasped.
Dude, the first thing that came to my head is that audio that's just like, oh, I effed up. That's the first thing that came to my head.
I know. And then when she freaking made the apple grove disappear, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Dude, the part where I was just like, oh my god, Wanda is like freaking terrifying was when, she's approached by the Illuminati and, Mr. Fantastic is trying to calm her down and she's just like, he's just like, I have kids, I understand. And she's just like, is their mom still alive? And he's just like, yes. She's just like, okay, good. Then there will still be someone to take care of them. And freaking just basically turns them into to grated cheese. And it's, oh my god, it's, ugh.
Dude,
that was hard to watch.
I flipped out. That was so freaking scary.
Yeah, then freaking what she did to Black Bolt. Oh my god,
dude,
right?
That
That's
made
Black
me want to
Bolt,
vomit.
Right? Yeah, freaking yeah. Both of their heads explode. Ugh.
Yeah, that was
freaking. I feel nothing against Monica Rambeau's Captain Marvel, but I feel she kind of got the least cool death.
Was that
out of
was
the
that
four?
her?
I thought it was.
I thought,
or was that? Maybe it wasn't Monica Rambeau.
Sorry,
it was Maria Rambeau. I'm sorry.
It was Maria?
Yeah. That's what it says.
Hold on, I need to look this up.
And it says Peggy Carter, Blackagar, Boltagon, Maria Rambeau, Reed Richards, and Charles Xavier.
That's interesting.
Remind me, who was Maria? That was...
I thought Maria was her...
Wasn't that who was in WandaVision? Or was that Monica?
I thought that was Monica.
I think you're right.
So
was Maria Captain Marvel's best friend?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I recognized the actress.
Lashana
makes more
Lynch.
sense.
So Lashana Lynch was the actress. So she was Maria. Okay, so this was a variant of Captain Marvel, where instead of Carol Danvers, it was Maria.
Okay.
That was weird.
Did you hear what Kevin Feige he kind of actually got mad at the publicity crew for this movie?
Why?
He said that he feels that they spoiled way too much.
I would disagree.
I mean, did you see though, that in a freaking TV spot they were showing Captain Carter?
I saw that, but
I thought that was kind of. I don't know. I think they shouldn't have showed any of the Illuminati. I feel because they did that, that so many people were hyped for like all of the probably crossovers that they were going to have, people coming from other universes, that when they saw, oh, it's just these 5, they probably felt, I know I've heard that a lot of people were disappointed with the very few cameos that we actually got.
I wasn't upset by the cameos, like, at all. I thought they worked out really well. I think they kept true to most of the Illuminati. The only ones that I don't feel were actually in the Illuminati were Captain Carter and Captain Marvel.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure those two were taken by, like, those 2 slots are in the comics taken by Tony Stark and Namor, the Submariner.
Oh. Well, that would have been a perfect moment for them to work in Tom Cruise's Iron Man.
Absolutely not, dude. I was going to be so mad if we saw him.
Apparently, like, one of the writers or producers was like really on board for that idea, and he was like very mad that it never got off the board, or it never got off the ground.
Yeah, so the Illuminati, like, I just Googled it. The Illuminati consists of Charles Xavier, Tony Stark, Black Bolt, Namor, Doctor Strange, and Reed Richards.
Okay. Cool.
So they got most of them.
Yeah.
Like, the only ones that, like, they replaced was, I mean, obviously they replaced Mordo with, or they replaced Doctor Strange with Mordo, and they replaced the Submariner with Captain Marvel, and then Tony Stark with Peggy.
Yeah.
But everyone else was there, so, I mean, good for them for sticking on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, okay, Black Bolt was a genuine surprise for me to see. So, Anson Mount is the one that played Black Bolt.
Okay.
And he's from the Inhumans TV show.
Oh, so they brought him back?
Yeah, they brought him back.
That's badass. That's awesome. Good for him.
Like, say what you will about the Inhumans TV show, their cast was killer.
I never saw an episode, so I can't say anything.
You're not missing much.
Okay, cool.
But they had a spot-on cast. The story was just absolute trash. So the fact that they brought him back kind of gives me hope that they might reboot, like do a soft reboot of them.
Okay.
Like, I genuinely hope that they do. Because, like I said, the cast was incredible. Like, I'm trying to see if there was anyone that, like, I didn't like.
In this movie or
in Humans.
Oh, okay.
Like, other than, like, the human characters in there, like, I think everyone else did freaking, like, killer. So, Serinda Swan played Medusa, and she's been in some pretty decent stuff. Yeah, like, everyone did super good. It's just, the story was just garbage. Like, just complete and utter trash.
Damn.
And one of my big complaints about that show was Black Bolt only speaks once in that show, which is fine. I mean, obviously his power freaking destroys a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
But he was like super far away from this mountain and basically said the exact same thing. Like, just said, I'm sorry. Like, he says, I'm sorry, brother, in like a normal tone. And it just kind of like you see some sound waves come out, but then it's like a cave collapses and that's it.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So the fact that they fixed that in this, and we're just like, he says, I'm sorry, and it freaking disintegrates Doctor Strange, made me so freaking happy. Like,
yeah,
that is like
was
the
pretty badass.
Yeah, that is the portrayal of Black Bolt that I've been freaking wanting. Because I love Black Bolt. Like, I love the love story between him and Medusa. Like, it's so good. So freaking good. But, yeah, so seeing him back, like, was the biggest shock to me. And I loved it. I did not care for how he died because it was disgusting.
I feel all of them were like really effed up. Like, oh, like, geez, Wanda.
Yeah, like, dude, the freaking memes I'm seeing now is just like, just in case anyone doubts that Wanda is the strongest Avenger.
Dude, seriously. She literally turned Mr. Fantastic into spaghetti.
Yeah, turned him into spaghetti, turned Black Bolt into a freaking doll with a crushed head.
Yep.
Like, basically turned his brain into soup.
Sliced Captain Carter in half.
Yeah, and then freaking made a pancake of Captain Marvel.
I will say, freaking, when Wanda asked Captain Carter, she's like, "Oh, don't." Then she say like, "Oh, don't you ever give up," or some shit like that. And she says, "Oh, I can do this all day." I'm like, "Yeah, I love that. I appreciate you guys threw that in."
Yeah, I was just like, "Yeah, you
that,
can." Yes,
that made
you
me
can.
smile. Yeah, that definitely got a smile out of me.
Yeah. I do have to mention DJ wanted it to be known. I need to find its exact words. That he thought the Illuminati scene was unearned and had too much fan service.
Okay, I can see where he's coming from. I do wish that it was a lot longer of a scene, because I feel like literally we're introduced to them and then literally 30 seconds later they die.
Yes, I do feel it was slightly rushed, but unearned is strong for me. Because
I agree. I wouldn't say that.
I think that they were just trying to portray how big of a threat Wanda posed. And just the fact that they were just like, we can handle your little witch.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Well,
no,
honestly,
if you
I don't know.
can't.
The way that I look at it, it's like it's a completely different Earth. So I feel if they have like a completely different team, I mean, I know they're not the Avengers, but if it's like a brand new team that we're just barely being introduced to and then they die, I mean, of course, I mean, to us, they're going to feel unearned, but that's just because, you know, it's a different Earth than what we're used to. It's brand new to us.
Right.
But I agree with you. Like, I get where DJ is coming from, but I would agree with you. I don't agree with the it feels unearned part.
Yeah, it like...
No offense, DJ. I love you, man.
Yeah, it was great. It was like... I think they were in it enough for it, like, because if it would have been like much longer, I think that would have made it feel more like fan service.
Fair enough.
Like, oh, we're just going to get like little scenes with these characters. It's just the fact that they, in this movie, that they kind of played throwaway characters.
Yeah.
Just to show off Wanda's might.
Yeah,
like,
she is terrifying.
Yeah, like, holy shit. Like, Dude, I was losing my mind through that scene, that whole scene. Like, when she started attacking, I'm just like, dude, you guys are screwed.
Yeah.
Like, and especially after throwing Ultron bots at her.
Yeah.
And, like, you were just asking to get ripped apart.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh, my gosh. Someone was pointing out that they actually really liked that, if in this universe, or just this is just kind of an assumption, but just like in this universe, if Reed Richards were to have created the Ultron robot, that it would actually work. Just kind of goes to show how much smarter he is than Tony Stark.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. I can't really argue with them on that one.
Yeah. But gosh. Dude, and freaking, America Chavez. I really liked her. Like, her character and what she brought to the table.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. I thought she was very, very good character, and honestly, I really appreciate that Marvel kept in that LGBTQT moment with her having two moms. I loved that part. I know that I forget where it was banned, but this movie's actually banned in a country just because they said that they weren't going to remove that.
Pretty sure it was China.
Oh, shocker. Well, kudos to you, Marvel, for keeping it in, because
yeah,
I
it's
loved
just
seeing that.
Yeah, so good, dude. What I really appreciated about the story, I was expecting them to travel from universe to universe to universe to universe. And it just to kind of get way too big of a scale.
Yeah.
But just the fact that they only spent time in 2 different universes, really, just kind of made the night and day difference. Like, obviously, they had that whole montage where Doctor Strange and Chavez were, like, traveling 2 different universes.
That was badass.
That was super cool. And I can't wait to go back and rewatch and try and catch that animated universe a little bit more.
Right? The freaking paint one, too. That was weird. That was
cool. that one was funky. But yeah, and it's just like the subtle differences too, like going on red was kind of cool.
Yeah, or freaking when she's just like, oh, in every universe, food's always free, and then freaking God, what's his name? Bruce Campbell freaking starts yelling at her for stealing his pizza bites, and she's just like, oh shit, maybe it's not free.
Yeah. So good. So freaking good.
See, I love seeing Bruce Campbell back in something. That was awesome. Made me smile.
And no, dude, if they wanted to make him like the new Stan Lee, I wouldn't be mad at all.
I wouldn't. Yeah, me neither. I would welcome that with open arms, honestly.
Yeah. Gosh, it's just everything they did. It felt really good, flowed really well. I have so few complaints about the story overall.
Yeah, honestly, so do I. Like, for what Sam Raimi and Marvel set out to do with this sequel, I think they really did a good job with the story.
Yeah, I love the I mean, hell, I loved. Oh, freaking! I don't think we covered this at all. Professor X basically giving Doctor Strange the green light, like, hey, when you go to escape, like, freaking get the hell out of here. But then the yellow wheelchair, straight out of the freaking comics.
That was awesome.
And when he was going into Wanda's mind, being in like the black turtleneck and walking around, also straight out of freaking comics.
Freaking her just coming up behind him and snapping his neck.
Dude, that was so freaking scary.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit. Dude, I didn't actually scream that, but inside I did.
Dude, Wanda was so freaking terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, Sam Raimi, he made us turn emotionally on Wanda so hard.
Dude, yeah, that scene where her kids are like running from her and crying for their mom in that universe. Oh, freaking right in the feels. Like,
I
damn.
know. Dude, like, it's like he did so good at like flip-flopping, like making you understand where she's coming from and then being like, okay, maybe you're taking this too far.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, okay, maybe I do get it. And then nope. Like I flip-flopped so much throughout this, like just, and then at the end when her kids are like retreating from her, like that broke my heart.
Yeah, that was so sad.
And then when she's just like, no, I'm freaking done with the Darkhold, and like crushes the building around her, I'm just like, sounds about right.
Yeah.
And just the way that she went about it too, like straight up lifting it in the air and then just dropping it. Like, holy shit, dude. And also I don't know about you. I loved the fact that Wong is still Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh yeah, dude, I still love that. I hope that doesn't change because it's a freaking hilarious joke.
It is great.
I mean, nothing against Strange. I feel Wong deserves it.
Oh, absolutely agreed. Okay, now that I'm like thinking about it real quick, my only complaint about the multiverse that they have set up is the fact that they call the MCU universe 616.
How come? Why don't you like that?
So in the Marvel universe, Earth 616 is the main universe in Marvel Comics, right?
Yes, I mean you know comics a lot more than I do. So.
Right. So that's like where you find like Earth 616 Spider-Man is like the Spider-Man.
So just the OG Peter Parker Spider-Man?
Not necessarily the OG, it's just like the most Spider-Man.
Okay.
Like they have an Ultimate Spider-Man universe, they have a Superior Spider-Man universe, like they have a bunch of different shit. But
Yeah.
616 is like the main storyline.
Okay.
My problem with them saying or claiming that the MCU is Earth 616 is just that it's also kind of quite not as definitive. They have a bunch of variations from the Earth 616 or the comic book 616. Like for one, the big one is like Hulk. Hulk isn't such a freaking bitch in Earth 616.
Why am I not surprised that you would bring that up?
So in my mind, I feel like they should have kept Earth 616 the comic universe, and maybe listed the MCU as a completely different universe.
Okay.
Like I would have liked for them to bring up 616.
Yeah.
But like maybe say that America Chavez is from Earth 616. Since there's technically only like one of her in the entire universe or multiverse.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, so I would have preferred for them to be like, oh, she's from Earth 616, you're from Earth whatever. But it's just 616 has always been, for me, a comic universe. And it's cool because like in the Spider-Verse crossover stories, they've had storylines where they've pulled Spider-Man from like the 90s TV show. They had a Spider-Man that they pulled, or they had the Drake Bell Ultimate Spider-Man pulled into it. And it was super funny, like watching him in the background. Like, did you watch that show?
Not.
Oh, okay, never mind then. He just kind of had this like Emperor's New Groove talking to the audience sort of situation. And yeah, so he would like do that in the comics, and all the other Spider-Man like noticed.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay.
So it was just kind of funny. But they've pulled Spider-Man from different universes into these like crossover Spider-Verse events. And so it's just like, okay, so just the fact that the visual, like the TV shows, are part of a different universe outside of 616, I'm like, I feel like the movie should have been too.
That's fair.
But I mean, that's just a really minor complaint. But yeah, 616 is where you find like everyone. It's where you find the Fantastic Four. It's where you find the X-Men. It's where you find the Avengers and all that. Which I know that they just haven't gotten around to introducing the X-Men yet, but it's just like, how are you going to pull that off?
That is fair. That's a very good point.
Did you catch what did you catch what what Doctor Strange said to Mr. Fantastic by chance? I missed it.
I don't know if I did. I remember him saying something like, I forget what Reed Richards says, but he's just like, yeah, no shit, or something like that.
Yeah, like it's kind of when he first comes into the world and he's talking about Reed Richards, and he's just like, or like of the Fantastic Four, and he's like the Fantastic Four, and then like makes a comment, and I didn't catch what that comment was.
Yeah, I don't think I did either.
Damn, sometimes I need freaking subtitles.
Right?
In my movies. But yeah, it just kind of felt like Doctor Strange didn't know who the Fantastic Four were, unless like that comment that we missed was sometimes like, or was something that we're just unaware of. So it's like, maybe the Fantastic Four do exist in that universe and they just don't have powers yet, or what? Like,
yeah, dude, I have no idea.
Yeah, I just want them to address that, because the Earth 616 has everyone. So that was just my big problem. It's just that the fact that they haven't addressed all these other heroes.
That's fair. I can understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. Other than that, really enjoyed the story. I felt like it was very fast paced, but in a good way.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, honestly, I was never bored.
I wasn't either. I think maybe the Bruce Campbell thing went on a bit long.
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough.
I mean, other than that, like, I felt it flowed pretty well, and the story was really interesting. Just Doctor Strange trying to protect America Chavez from Wanda, who is trying to use her power to travel to a multiverse where she can have her family.
Yeah.
And then, like, they kind of addressed Wong, like, with Wong, like, what if they get sick with something and that universe I'm in doesn't have the solution? Like, I can literally travel to any universe where they have a fix for everything. I'm like, that's an excellent point.
It's true.
Like, because, I mean, like, I flip-flopped really hard with that, like, with Wong just being like, why don't you just have her send you to that universe? And she's like, well, what if my boys get sick? And I'm like, ooh, didn't think about that. So really loved that. I loved that he did a really good job of keeping Wanda, like, relatable for so long.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
So I'm actually pretty high with my story. I think I'm going to be at like a 93. Just because I loved it so much.
I definitely say I'm not as high as you, but I am still high, so I'm gonna go an 88.
I mean, that's pretty good still. All right, so our average score or collected score for stories come to a 90.5.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Moving on over to writing. There wasn't a whole lot of wasted dialogue here, I don't feel.
There wasn't. I know a lot of people said, from what I've heard from other critics, that a lot of the, for them, a lot of the, not every joke landed.
I'll give them that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of like a specific joke that was just like, God, that was not funny at all.
Yeah, I think the only one that maybe stands out to me where it was just like not super funny was the Bruce Campbell joke.
That's because like you said, it went on for a little too long. Whole credit scene with him shouting, "It's finally over." That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I think what ruined that joke, it was just how long the dialogue was. Like, it was just like right after America Chavez was saying like, "Oh yeah, in most universes you don't have to pay for food." And then she's walking past and then he grabs her and he's like, "Hey, you didn't pay for that." And she's just like, "Oh, shit." And that was funny. And then it's just like, "Hey," or then Doctor Strange gets in the way and he's like, "Hey, she's just a kid." And he's just like, "Whoa, we got some sort of Doctor Strange looking dude here. Like, where'd you get that from?" From the doctor, like, just kind of going off. Like, it was almost like he was riffing, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, it was definitely weird.
Yeah. The rest of that, or the rest of it, though, one of my favorite scenes of, like, just the dialogue was when she was attacking, or when Wanda was attacking the, oh, what's it called? Oh, that's gonna bug me. Kamar Taj. That's what it was. Yeah, when she was attacking Kamar Taj, and she kind of was blasting the force field and just kind of getting in everyone's head, or looking for someone's mind to corrupt.
Yeah.
And just, it was just maybe it was Benedict Wong that sold it for me, or it was just Wong's character, the way that he was like kind of going around and just jumping around to everyone and being like, fortify your mind, and just like the intensity behind that, like the way that he said that was just so powerful, and just how it didn't work.
Yeah.
It was just crazy, just like I don't know why it was such a small part, but it just stood out so strongly to me when she's just flying around and everything. It was scary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
Another thing that I almost forgot is when Doctor Strange was like trapped her in the mirror dimension.
Oh yeah, and she started going through the reflections in the water.
And then freaking like it came crawling out like she was the freaking Grudge.
Yeah, that was
holy shit. That was so freaking scary. That was absolutely terrifying. Gosh, that was crazy. Nothing like dialogue wise, other than the shit with Bruce Campbell, nothing really stood out as like out of place. It was really well written.
Yeah, I would agree. No character said anything to where you're just like, no, they would never say anything like that.
Yeah, I think maybe the only thing that I didn't always care for, just kind of looking back, is when they were in the Earth, what was it, 838? Or whatever Earth they were at, and they had that that memory thing.
Oh, yeah.
It felt weird. It felt weird for Doctor Strange to kind of sit there and like watch, because I felt like they established the regret and the feelings of love that Doctor Strange had for Christine.
I agree. Can we also talk about how they didn't even pay to see their memories?
Yeah, right.
Shouldn't that be a pay then show? Shouldn't be a show then pay.
Yeah, you would think. But yeah, it's just like the fact that they sat there and watched it, and then America did the exact same thing immediately after.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that felt like something that they could have extracted from somewhere else. Like, what I was kind of, the way that I personally would have done that is maybe Doctor Strange trying to gather information from her.
Okay.
And being like, you're not telling me everything, and then like basically like doing some sort of spell to figure out where she came from, or the origin of her powers, or whatever the hell you want to call it. And so I would have rather had him do that, and then maybe have like a magical side effect of that is have her kind of experience what he experienced with Christine.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
So it's more like kind of like a memory swap.
Yeah.
More or less. Like, I just would have preferred that rather than the kind of the awkward stand there and watch her memory thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
But besides that, I really like the dream hopping thing that they did.
That was cool.
I felt like that was super interesting. I didn't know how this is so what I thought was going to happen, because I completely forgot that the zombie Strange was supposed to be in this.
Dude, I did too.
So I thought he was going to dream hop to a different universe and have that Doctor Strange travel to his universe to fight Scarlet Witch. But then I was just like, well, that doesn't make sense. And as soon as he said like who said they had to be living, like I was like, oh shit. So freaking love that. All right. Were there any other writing things that stood out to you, or?
Not that I can really think of. I feel everything was pretty solid.
Right. Honestly, the only thing that I can think of, like, just now kind of thinking about it a bit more, was maybe the the Book of Ashanti. That kind of seemed like it was supposed to be a lot bigger of a thing than it ended up being.
That is fair. That is a very good point.
Yeah, well, it's like they were constantly on the hunt for this book. Ended up getting to the Earth where they found it, which I thought like that was a pretty decent bit between Doctor Strange and that Earth's Christine. How he was able to unlock the door, like using her watch and everything.
That was cool.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a really sweet moment.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, but it's just like that book just ended up getting exploded.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was just kind of hard for like once it got to that, it was just kind of like, really? And it kind of felt to me like did you ever see Kung Fu Panda?
Years ago, and honestly, I barely remember any of it. And I haven't seen the second or third.
Okay, well, it's just the first one. There's this thing called the Dragon Scroll, and the only person allowed to read it is the Dragon Warrior. And when he opens it up, it's just like reflective paper. And so it's just completely blank except for this reflective paper. And then he realizes, oh, the power's been inside me all along. And it's just kind of like, that's what happened with America Chavez. It's like, we'll get this book, figure out how to use, or it'll help you to learn how to use your abilities. Oops, the book's useless to us, but you've known how to use your abilities all along. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah, plot convenience. What's that?
Yeah, so it just kind of made me feel like a little like, not digging that.
Yeah, that's fair. I can agree with that.
That's other than that, I think everything else was pretty rock solid.
I would agree. Absolutely.
Where are you at with writing?
I might be like a tad lower than my story score, so I'm gonna go like an 87.
Yeah, I was a little lower than mine too. Not quite in the 80s yet. I think I'm like just a solid 90.
Okay.
Like, I feel like that book of Vishanti was just such a minor thing for me in the grand scheme of it all.
Yeah.
Especially for how well written everything else was. I feel like the dialogue with the Illuminati was pretty good. Just kind of the way that Strange was able to kind of manipulate Mordo into like attacking him and ultimately like freeing him. I thought that was pretty funny.
That was.
It does make me wonder though, like what the hell's happened to the actual Mordo?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, because Doctor Strange references him when he's just like, "Oh, who's this dude?" And he's just like, "Oh, this dude's dedicated his life to, trying to kill me." And I'm like, "Cool, where's that?"
Yeah, why aren't we getting that storyline?
Yeah, no, like I don't know what I would have wanted with like the opening battle because it all just kind of really tied into Wanda.
True.
Like ultimately, like the big like octopus looking eyeball monster tied into Wanda, so it's kind of hard for me to feel like, oh, replace that with a fight with Mordo, because I feel like that would have really like solidified how weird it would have been. Because like if you think about it, the last time that we saw Mordo in canon was in Doctor Strange, after they were teaming up to fight Dormammu, and then Mordo went on his own way to basically get rid of all sorcerers or all magic.
Yeah.
So that, like, technically, the last time that we saw them together, they weren't on like great terms, but they were in like mutual respect terms.
That is a good point.
And so just the feeling that it's like, oh, he's dedicated his life to killing me, it felt a little
came
odd.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, a little bit. Just because I'm like, well, technically you guys had a mutual respect, like a mutual parting of ways.
Yeah.
And like you understood what like his goal was, but it's just like we haven't seen anything up till this point for us to believe that you guys are on like bad terms.
Yeah, it's true.
So, I mean, I would have liked to see something where it's like, hey, like a little bit, like a mini fight. Like, I don't know. Just something. Just to kind of solidify that beef between the two of them.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I get what you're saying.
And then just kind of make it feel even more weird when we see him be friendly from that other Earth. Yeah. All right, so that averages our writing score to an 88.5. Moving on over to acting. Let me pull up the cast list really fast. I just had it up. All right, first up, we have Benedict Cumberbatch, who played Dr. Stephen Strange. We have Elizabeth Olsen, who played Wanda Maximoff, otherwise known as the Scarlet Witch. We have Benedict Wong, who played Wong. I don't know how to say her name. Bloody hell, I'm freaking Googling that shit. How do you say that? Xochitl? Or Xochitl? Okay.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So Xochitl Gomez, who played America Chavez. And then I'll throw her in for shits and giggles. Rachel McAdams, who played Dr. Christine Palmer.
I love it.
Yeah, so those are the main ones. We did have the Illuminati in here. So I'll bring them up real quick, but I don't think they're going to tie in too much to our acting score, just because they didn't play too big of a role.
That's what you think? I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Yeah, so we have Lashana Lynch, who played Captain Marvel. We have Haley Atwell, who played Captain Carter. We have John Krasinski, who played Reed Richards. Anson Mount, who played Black Bolt. Patrick Stewart, who played Professor Charles Xavier. And then, did I bring up Baron Mordo?
I don't think you did.
And then we have, however the hell you pronounce his name. 1 second. Chiwetel Ejiofor?
That sounds right. I know his name is hard to say.
Chiwetel.
Okay.
Chiwetel Ejiofor. Okay. I had to Google pronunciation with that one. Chiwetel Ejiofor, who played Baron Mordo. And he was the final member of the Illuminati.
Gotcha.
Kind of taking that universe's Stephen Strange's place. Anyway. I got to know what top 3 actors, like,
Okay.
I have a feeling that our top 3 is either going to be like exactly the same or like wildly different.
So number 3, I would give to Benedict Wong as Wong. He was fantastic as always. Loved him in this movie. Number 2, I would give to Benedict Cumberbatch, who played Doctor Strange. Once again, amazing. I count my blessings every day that he was cast as Doctor Strange and not the. I know one of the people that was in the running was Joaquin Phoenix. Nothing against Phoenix, but Cumberbatch was built to play Stephen Strange, or born to play Stephen Strange. He was once again amazing. I can't get enough of him. He's just so great. But I'm sorry to say, Elizabeth Olsen, she topped this performance, and so I would give her number 1 for her performance as Wanda Maximoff / the Scarlet Witch.
Damn. Shit, dude.
What?
So I'm giving my number 3 to shit, I forgot how to say her name already. I'm just gonna say America Chavez.
Yeah, don't strain yourself, buddy.
Yeah, I'm giving my number 3. Like, I felt that her acting got better as the movie went on.
That is fair.
I did feel like there was a bit of a slow start for me actually like enjoying her performance. But she eventually got to that place where she kind of like hit her stride, it felt. And then she began to really stand out. So yeah, that for her I'm giving my number 3. Then my number 2 I'm giving to Doctor Strange. Kind of barely. Like, I almost would have given this to Wong.
Okay.
But I think Stevens just stood out a little bit more. Unlike the first Doctor Strange, I feel like we did get some real movement in his character. Like, he definitely has that, like, oh, I'm kind of like the best superhero in the world kind of, like, ego to him.
That's true, he does.
But it's almost like he has some sort of humility around it, which in the first movie he just absolutely did not.
Yeah.
So it feels like the fight with Thanos humbled him a little bit more than the first movie did, which is nice to see. And so just seeing him in that humbled state and just kind of in a state of defeat in some aspects was kind of refreshing. So I really applaud Cumberbatch for pulling that off. And then, absolutely agreeing with you, Elizabeth Olsen is just a master of her craft.
Yes, she is.
She was relatable in some aspects. She was, like, we felt very sympathetic for her and others. But then she just pulled off, like, just broken so well. Like, seeing her just kind of on her own and just kind of dealing with her own inner demons, you can absolutely see where she's coming from. And just seeing how haunted she is by everything just made her stand out so freaking much. And it was so interesting for me, like, jumping back and forth between, like, Doctor Strange's story and then Wanda's story that was happening. Even though I like, you can definitely make the argument that Wanda's was the B story, but for me, it honestly felt more like the A story.
I would agree.
Because, like, anytime, like, Doctor Strange was doing his thing and, like, seeing another universe, like, awesome, super cool. But, like, anytime it jumped to Doctor Strange immediately after Wanda, I was just like, no, go back to Wanda.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Yeah, so, oh my gosh. Dude, and it's freaking crazy, like, how amazing she is. Because, like, I've gone back and watched some shit that her sisters have acted in. Her sisters can't act for jack.
No, I'm sorry. The only good acting that they had was on Full House.
And even that wasn't, like, particularly good.
Damn.
It wasn't. I mean,
Yeah,
if
I
you
know.
freaking compare that shit to Elizabeth Olsen now, holy balls.
Well, yeah, but they were little kids.
Yeah. No excuse.
What? How is that not an excuse? A child versus a fully grown adult?
Oh, man.
You just really don't like Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, do you?
Dude, I mean, maybe that might be part of it, but she is an amazing actress.
Oh, hands down, absolutely.
Like, there's so few things that I've seen her in where I didn't like her. And I've seen her in quite a bit.
I've only seen her, as far as I remember, in Godzilla, and then her as Scarlet Witch in the MCU movies. As far as I know, those are the only movies that I've seen her in.
You said Ingrid Goes West?
No, I've never seen that.
Wait, what was the other movie you said besides Godzilla?
Well, no, I said Godzilla, and then like all of her MCU portrayals of Wanda Maximoff.
Okay. Yeah, so I saw her in Godzilla, and I mean, she was just kind of a minor role in that. I mean, she still did a good job. But then I also saw her in I Saw the Light, which was really good.
I don't even think I've seen that. Or even heard of it.
So it's a story based off of Hank Williams.
Who's that?
Oh my gosh, you're killing me, Rose.
I'm gonna feel stupid when you tell me.
It's a country singer from like
you know what? I should honestly know, considering hanging out with you over the years growing up. I kind of had to like country. You kind of not forced, but
you didn't have to.
Well, that was literally all that we listened to when we were either driving in your car or you turned on music somewhere.
Okay,
Name
you know
one
the
time
the dude who's
different.
You know the guy who sings "Your Cheating Heart"?
I don't even know if I know that song.
Are you shitting me?
I'm sorry.
Oh my. Okay. Shit. Okay. Do you know the kid who freaking yodels in Walmart?
Oh yeah, Mason Ramsey.
You have no idea how infuriated I am that you know his name.
I only remember his name just because he's actually a pretty funny, not funny, but he's found a following on TikTok, and I just have come across a lot of his videos.
You piss
Don't
me
give
off
me
sometimes.
that sigh.
You
bitch.
piss me off sometimes.
Feelings mutual,
anyway,
bitch.
The song that he was singing in that famous video that kind of just went viral, the one that blew him up.
Yeah.
That was a song made famous by Hank Williams.
Oh, okay.
And so,
good to know.
Elizabeth Olsen played his wife.
Oh. Okay, that makes more sense now.
I'm surprised you haven't heard about that movie because it's Tom Hiddleston is the one that played Hank Williams.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm ever hearing of this movie.
It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, she is like the standout performance from this movie.
Agreed.
Like, this could easily be called the WandaVision movie, and I wouldn't be upset about it at all.
Yeah, but Vision's not in it, so can it be really called WandaVision?
No, I guess you're right. I guess it could be called Scarlet Witch in the Multiverse of Madness. Featuring Doctor Strange.
That's a long-ass title.
Yeah, that'd be a really long-ass title. Anyway. So, what are you thinking with an acting score?
I hardly had any problems with the acting. I feel the only person that I had problems with was, like you brought up, America Chavez. But I definitely agree with you. Her acting did get better as the movie went on. So I'm gonna go a solid 90 for acting. Not as an O. Damn it.
I'm actually going to go 1 point higher than you.
Okay.
I was actually thinking I was somewhere in like the 92, 93 range, but I think with the America Chavez performance, it did just bring it down a little bit. And
Yeah.
it didn't pull it down for very long, obviously. It still scored in the 90s. But I think if her performance would have stayed as at the same level as it was at the beginning, it would have brought it down a lot more for me. But like I said, once she kind of got into her groove, she freaking killed it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely agree.
I think maybe the only scene that I was just like, okay, like who the hell does this chick think she is? Was when they were getting pizza. Like her, Wong, and Strange.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. Other than that, I think the only other time that I may have had an issue was when she was just so antsy and trusting Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's like, come on, it's a completely different Steven. So
Yeah.
calm yourself, girl.
Yeah. So other than that, like we said, super solid performances. But our acting grade or score has averaged us out to a 90.5. All right, next up we got character development, which I think we both are thinking Doctor Strange.
Yes. I mean, in some ways you could do Wanda, but it might be a little hard.
That one would be tough.
Yeah.
Because with Wanda, it's just like she's after the same thing the entire movie, and then doesn't, and she's still ultimately after it at the end. It's just she decides like, okay, whatever, like this, like deucing out of this world.
Yeah.
And crushes herself.
Supposedly.
Like keyword there.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting into Doctor Strange, like, so his Earth's Christine Palmer is getting married. She invites Doctor Strange to her wedding, which is kind of an odd thing given their romantic history, but I mean, whatever, you do you. And she starts getting into how, like, basically how they wouldn't have ultimately worked out.
Yeah, because doesn't she say, like, he's the one that always has to be holding the knife or something like that?
Yeah. And by the end, he basically, like, tries to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, with, like, you see it, how it could have ended for him with the Defender Doctor Strange at the beginning, where he's just like, okay, I am not able to save America from this danger, so I am going to have to steal her power. And then obviously it doesn't work out for him, and he ends up dying. And this, like, our Doctor Strange was put into a very similar situation. Like, almost where it almost got to the point where it was his only choice was to steal her power. Even Wong, who is very, like, not anti-killing kids, was like, you need to bushwhack this kid, like, now.
Yeah.
So seeing our Doctor Strange make the choice to basically push America to controlling her abilities and giving Wanda the opportunity to more or less just put a stop to everything that she's doing really accentuates that he's different from the other Stephen Stranges in the other universes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, because in both of the other universes, like, it just kind of shows how big of an asshole he is.
Yeah, dude, straight up.
But yeah, like, I really liked his arc and how he was just kind of able to learn from other instances of himself and how other people view him. And because he's just constantly put in front of a mirror, I feel.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like, Wanda puts him in front of the mirror when she starts talking about, like, what makes him a hero versus what makes her not a hero. And saying, like, well, that doesn't seem fair. And then the Illuminati pointing out just, like, how big of a threat he is to the multiverse. And which kind of did not sit right with me, because they only seem to have the interaction with that one Doctor Strange.
Yeah, so like, why are you gonna assume that every single Doctor Strange from every universe is the same?
Yeah, like, I forget if like the multiverse was confirmed in that. Oh, it was, because Christine Palmer like had done research and work.
Yes.
Okay, so I get that, but like, what I want to know what ultimately led the Illuminati to believing that Doctor Strange was the biggest threat to the multiverse.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like, the only way that I feel like they could have come to that conclusion is like, oh, here are two universes colliding, or what do they call it when the universe is like coming together?
Oh, dude, I forgot.
Gotta look that up real quick, just so I have the wording right. An incursion.
Yep, that's what it was.
Yeah. So so backtracking. The only way that I feel the Illuminati could have known that Doctor Strange was the biggest danger to the multiverse is if they were able to observe the different incursions and find that on each of those incursions, Doctor Strange was the only living person.
Yeah, true.
Which kind of makes sense with like how when he did get banished to that universe with the that incursion.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, that's the only way that it would have made sense to me. So I mean, we'll see if that ever gets explained. I'm probably not going to be too upset if it doesn't.
You're not gonna be sweat.
No, probably not. But yeah. So it's just, I think seeing how he's viewed and everything from the outside, outside of his universe, where within his universe he's viewed as like a great hero, and it just kind of doesn't serve his ego super well. And so just kind of seeing like everyone on the outside being like, okay, dude, you're a freaking dickhead, and he's just kind of taking it to heart and realizing like, hey, I can be better.
Yeah.
And like, ultimately he does, with like the decisions that he makes when it comes to America and Wanda.
And I did really like the part where with oh my god, what's the universe that the Illuminati is in, or what Earth is that again?
838.
I love with that Earth's Christine, he finally got to like truly say like, I understand why we couldn't. I understand now why we couldn't work out, but just know that I never stopped loving you and I never will.
Yeah, it was kind of nice for him to get that closure.
Yeah, that was a very sweet moment. I loved that.
Yeah, and I feel like she totally... Dude, I almost was convinced that she was going to travel to his Earth.
Dude, I thought the same thing. I'm like, how the hell is this gonna work?
Yeah, I'm like, that's going to get real funky.
Yeah. But no, yeah.
But I'm happy with how they pulled it off.
I am too.
And yeah, so I think he had a lot of growth, way more than he did in the first one.
Dude, I feel dumb for like not watching the first one before I saw this one because I haven't seen the first Doctor Strange in years.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while either.
Like honestly, remember when we did the where you watch every single MCU movie leading up to was it either Infinity War or Endgame? I can't remember. Endgame. That was the last time that I watched Doctor Strange. It's been that long.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It's
true.
So the last time I watched it was maybe a year ago.
Okay.
But I mean, it was good. It was good. It was really good. The story was really good. It's just he didn't have any character development. Like by the end of the movie, he was still an asshole.
True. It's very true.
But in this, I feel like he had a lot more growth than
yes,
we've previously seen him have.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
So, damn, like, this one's tough. Just because, even though it was a lot more, and I am very tempted to put it in the 90s, I don't feel like it was a very dramatic shift of character.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think I'm more in like the 88 range.
You know what? I'll match you on that one.
All right. Well, that averages us out to an 88 for character development.
Hell yeah.
Moving on over to effects. Holy shit.
Oh my god, these were so good. Like, wow.
Yeah, freaking spoiler alert, I'm in the high 90s.
Yeah, same. I would absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, there was like not a single effect in this that didn't look great.
There's only one effect that freaked me out, and it's just because like that kind of shit just freaks me out, is the whole extra eye on his forehead. That shit just freaked me out. It looked fine. It looked good. But that
I
shit
don't
just
think
freaked me
they
out.
pull that off super well.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. The way that it opens, I feel like it should it's a weird concept. It's definitely a weird concept, but it's just like the shadow that you get on a normal eyeball, I don't think should be on the third eye.
I can agree with that, and honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how I feel about Doctor Strange now going forward in the MCU. I don't really like the fact that a third eye is just going to pop up every now and then.
Yeah, it's a little odd. It's like, I think that was my biggest complaint with the effect in general. It's just like, okay, now it just feels like a third eye that's always there.
Yeah.
Like, for one, that, like, it just kind of just feels odd. It's like you kind of know how the eye, our eyes are just kind of like sunken into our head a little bit.
Yes, yeah.
It's like seeing the one on his forehead that kind of has that same effect where it's like sunken in. If that, it's just awkward. Like, I feel like it would just feel better if it was just like an eye that was just flush with his forehead and didn't really have any shadow to it.
Yeah, that I feel that would have been a lot better.
Yeah, like I think that was my biggest complaint, but that is just such a minor complaint.
Yeah, and especially considering that doesn't really come into effect until you're like 75% through the movie.
Yeah, and even then, it's only for like a couple seconds
Yeah,
at a time.
Exactly.
Like, what, you see it with the incursion, Doctor Strange, for like a minute,
Yeah.
maybe, and then when you're
post-credit scene.
Yeah, and then the post-credit scene, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's not like a big deal. So that, I think that is just what's keeping me from 100.
That's, yeah. I can absolutely agree with that.
Everything else looked great.
Yeah.
The way that America Chavez's powers manifested, holy crap.
That was super cool.
I loved that. I loved like everything that she did kind of formed a star.
Yes. Yeah.
Like when she was punching the glass, it shattered it to look like a star, or all of her portals looked like stars. It was so cool. Like it was just such a bitchin' effect. All of Doctor Strange's magic looked really good.
Freaking Wong's effect with the freaking spear lasso. I don't know what it's called. That shit was bitchin'. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, that stuff looked awesome. Wanda's effects were absolutely terrifying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that freaking she basically what she does to the Illuminati. Oh, that. Oof, ugh. Yeah, freaking chills every single time.
Dude, for me, anything that has to do with your hands. So, like, if someone were to, like, punch a hole through your hand or, like, shoot something through your hand in a movie, like, gets me every single time. And the disappearing mouth.
Yeah, you know what? I would absolutely agree with both of these.
Yeah, so, like, I knew as soon as she said, like, because, like, the Illuminati, I'm like, you guys are freaking dumbasses. Like, you should have just freaking, like, you didn't have to tell her what Black Bolt could do.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe that was, like, another thing that maybe kept my writing score from going up, was when they were explaining that, like, Black Bolt could destroy you from one whisper from his mouth. And I'm like, well, that's your mistake.
Maybe Mr. Fantastic should have said, no, their mother is not living. I'm the only one.
Yeah, be like, peace out. But yeah, just the fact that they're just like, oh, he can destroy you with one whisper from his mouth. And as soon as she said, what mouth? I'm like, oh, shit. And then it, like, cut to him and then, like, pan down his face. And it's just, like, no mouth. And, dude, my mind was racing at the thought of everything that could have possibly happened with him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like when you initially saw that, like, what did you think was going to happen to him?
Honestly, I thought that she was just going to explode his head. That was the first thing that came to mind. I just did not expect her to freaking first dent his head and then blow it up.
Well, dude, that wasn't her.
I thought that was her.
No. That was him trying to talk.
How did I miss that?
Yeah, so this is what I thought was going to happen. So as soon as, like, I saw that his mouth was gone and he was, like, trying to, like, open it, and he was, like, reaching at his mouth and, like, pulling down, what I thought was he was going to make a noise and it was going to, like, rip through the skin.
Oh, God. Ugh.
And then, like, he was going to, like, pass the hell out, and then Wanda was going to do something, like, crazy to him. No. So he made a noise, and apparently not opening his mouth freaking blew up his brain.
Oh, I straight up thought that was her that did that.
Nope, that was
Oh.
all him.
Shit, that's even more disturbing. Okay, wow. Well, that's even better.
Yeah. That's why I flipped right the hell out. And then immediately she freaking turns Reed Richards into spaghetti.
Ugh, God, I hate thinking of that. So disturbing.
Dude, they freaking walked the line for
Yeah.
PG-13 on this movie.
Dude, straight up. Like, holy shit.
So I am very hopeful for, like, when they get into characters that are a little bit more on the violent side.
Yeah.
But, oh, dude, this freaking upped my standards for, like, brutality. Like, this was insane.
Yeah.
Like, just absolutely insane. Like, it made me sick to my stomach, made me audibly gasp. Like, oh my gosh, I had every reaction under the sun. But what sold it was how good it looked too.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Like,
it looks
oh
super...
my gosh.
I honestly wanted to one of my because he literally only does one stretch of his hand, Mr. Fantastic. I wanted to be like, Sea Fox. Now that's how you do super elasticity effects. That looked great. Is it really that hard?
Yeah, so I think they did a killer job with that. Like, could they have done a little bit more with his stretching? Yes. But I feel like they gave us just enough to be, like, excited about Mr. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then just kind of, like I said, leave us wanting more. And I think we got enough of his stretching when he was freaking getting torn to shreds.
Yeah, literally.
So that was freaking rough. I will say I did feel like there was some awkwardness between Wanda and Captain Marvel.
Okay.
And I think my problem with it was that Captain Marvel was always kind of in like the Superman pose, like doing her blasts, but then they were like spinning around. And she was all, like, constantly in that, like, pose where she had, like, the one fist down. Like, it was almost like she was flying downward, but then they were spinning, like, a top. And so it just kind of felt weird that she was standing that way. Like, I think it would have made a little bit more sense if she was, like, standing upright and then blasting down.
That's fair. I can definitely get behind that and agree with that.
Yeah, I just think that was an odd choice. Trying to think of another, like, I don't know, where do you think the jetpack for Peggy falls? Like, do you think that's a costume issue, or do you think that's an effect issue? Because I didn't like the jetpack.
I didn't either. I feel it's more of a cosmetic issue.
Okay. So I'll address that a bit more in costumes then, because I didn't care for it.
I absolutely agree with you. I was just like, what the shit? That's stupid.
I'm so glad that we didn't get a super, like, brutal death with her.
Yeah.
Like, it was brutal. But I'm just glad we didn't see it, because that would have broken my heart.
You know what? Fair.
Yeah. So definitely some thoughts there. Trying to think of, like, any other effects that maybe, like, stood out. Like, everything else was just like the Wanda just terror. Like when she was coming out of the mirror dimension and...
Dude, I know you said Grudge, but I got freaking like Pennywise vibes when he was climbing out of the fridge in Chapter 1.
Ooh, that too. It was kind of like a mixture of the two.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, super freaking gross. So, hell, I'm in the high 90s for this.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm at 95.
I might be a little bit higher. I think I'm like in 97.
Hell yeah, I love it.
All right, moving on over to music. This one, I was pleasantly surprised with how good the soundtrack was for this.
I mean, you saw who did the soundtrack, right?
Yeah, freaking Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
I mean, bro.
When I saw that at the end, I'm like, okay, yeah, no wonder it was so freaking good.
It was incredible.
I have literally no problems with the soundtrack. Like, I know like there was like no like actual like tracks that like, you know, like actually spoke words. It was all instrumental, but it was so effective for every single scene that it was in that I am very high for music.
I am too. I'm at a 9.
Same.
The only thing that like kept me from a 10 was there wasn't anything that like I said gets caught in my head.
Yeah, that's understandable.
The closest thing I will say, and I cannot say how much that I appreciate that they threw this in, when Professor X came rolling into the Illuminati room, they played the freaking 90s X-Men theme.
I didn't notice that because I never watched that show, but that is cool.
Yeah, so like if you were to go back and listen to like the little guitar, that's X-Men.
Oh, okay.
Like that is the X-Men show, and if just because they threw that in future X-Men content, if we get an X-Men MCU movie, show, whatever, if they do not use that theme song, I will be extremely upset.
You know what? Understandable. It's completely understandable.
Yeah, like, I mean, for the rest of the freaking time that he was on screen, like anytime he came on, I was like kind of humming to myself that song.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh, I freaking love that theme song. So I hope that the MCU incorporates that, like kind of like what they did with the Spider-Man theme song.
Yeah.
Like if you want to modernize it a little bit, like have at it, but just keep the bass there.
Yes.
Other than that, not too much to say about the soundtrack. Like I said, The only thing missing was something catchy to get caught in my head. But Danny Elfman is a master of his craft.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so incredible.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad he's making a comeback, because I'm pretty sure he's supposed to score the Flash movie, too.
If that movie ever even gets released.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, moving on over to costumes. They had, this being a superhero movie, tons of amazing costumes.
Ooh, yeah. I know it was like short and sweet, but I gotta comment. Reed Richards' Fantastic Four outfit, perfect. So good. I actually I always loved that in the like early 2000 movies that they had it like kind of smaller and like on the, I can't remember if it was on the left or right side of their, like kind of in like the nipple area, not the nipple area, like the peck area.
I'm like, that is an odd decision to make. But if I remember right, it was always on the left.
Okay. I always liked that choice for those, but I know in the comics it's always been like in the middle, which makes sense. And I feel they did a great job transitioning that into actual real life, because it doesn't look stupid at all being right up front. The blues look great. I love the black on it too. Just I'm sorry. I know it's like a very short scene, but like for how much I love the Fantastic Four, that was like my favorite costume of the movie.
Agreed there. Yeah, that like I personally would have liked to see it with white gloves and boots, just because that's like if you want to get more classic. I am really glad that they didn't try to alter the 4 at all to look like to have it like stand out from like the previous stuff or
Yeah, no, keep 4.
yeah. So I'm really glad that they kept that, but yeah, that suit was just incredible. It looks like it serves like a more functionality than like other suits. Like it just seems like it has other things going for it rather than just giving him a cool suit. So it
absolutely agree.
like maybe like storing some stuff. Like I want to see more of that suit.
Yeah, me too.
Also really dug Mordo's outfit, like his green robes.
Dude, yeah, what are they called, dreads? His
Yeah.
hair, that made him a lot more intimidating than his short hair that he had in the first one.
It
looked
really
freaking
did.
awesome.
He looked so cool. Like I freaking loved that. Professor X was spot on. I mean, Professor X is hard to get wrong, but I think the wheelchair, like just having the classic yellow floating wheelchair was freaking, or was it floating or did it have wheels?
I thought it was floating.
Okay, that's what I thought too. I might be wrong on that, but anyway, just the yellow wheelchair was
even if it did have wheels,
amazing.
They were very well hidden.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd say.
So loved seeing that. I love that they had the just how he is in the comics, where he's just kind of wearing like a nice suit, and then when he goes into someone's mind, he's wearing like the black turtleneck with like khakis.
That was great. That was so good.
Freaking loved Black Bolt's suit.
Yeah, from what you've shown me of his of how he looks in the comics, yeah, that looks super good.
Yeah. Compared to his suit in the Inhumans show, so it's tough because in the Inhumans TV show, he has, it's more just like a black leather vest with some of like the lines going down. Like he kind of has like a lightning bolt kind of, or just, I don't know how to explain his suit. It's just kind of like mirrored lightning going down his chest.
Okay.
So that's like what his normal suit looks like. But in the Inhumans show, it was seriously just kind of like a zip up leather jacket.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it worked out. It worked out for what the show was. I like said, like, I really wish that we got to see what he looked like in like the mask. And so seeing that we got a version of him with the mask and the freaking tuning fork on his head, because in the show, like, he just had like a crown with a tuning fork, which I'm like, I guess that's okay. But just seeing like the full costume put together and just how freaking screen accurate it was, like, I appreciated the ever living hell out of it.
Oh yeah, dude, I bet.
Yeah, I just Googled Doctor Strange Black Bolt.
Yeah.
And they have a picture of him with his mouth gone.
Oh god.
And like what happened to him.
Oh, I'm sorry you had to relive that.
Yeah. So there was a lot of things that I missed. So, yeah, when he talks, his mouth kind of like bubbles out a little bit, like with the sound waves. And then his eyes like completely like go red. And then his head freaking caves in.
Ugh. Yeah.
Freaking gross.
So gross.
But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, the his suit looked incredible. Like I had absolutely no complaints about his suit. They threw in a little extra detail in the helmet that I think made it look really nice. I will say this, didn't care for Captain Marvel's too much.
I mean, it was very plain.
Yeah, like I feel like hers should have stood out a little bit more, just because. I mean, come on, Captain Marvel.
Oh no, yeah, I absolutely agree.
Captain Carter's freaking loved it. For whatever reason, it didn't. Did it feel like it didn't fit her?
A little bit. I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with it. It just felt like it was too big. Like, I feel like... I mean, not to freaking sexualize Captain Carter or anything, but I just felt like it should have been tighter on her, and it just felt very loose.
You know what? I can honestly agree with you. I mean, yeah, like you said, we're not trying to over-sexualize, or we're not over-sexualizing not Captain Marvel. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say Peggy.
Yeah.
But no, I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, it's like I don't need like freaking skin tight anything on
We don't need
like
no
with
Black
her.
Widow.
Yeah, like nothing as far as Black Widow.
Yeah.
Like even her like newer outfit, like don't necessarily need anything from like that kind of look. I do like the bulkier feel to her. It's just like I don't think they nailed the costume quite right. Like I'm comparing it to like What If, and I felt like the flag on her chest, like the red lines on the Union Jack were very thin. So it just I don't quite know what trying to see if there's like a decent picture of her. Yeah, if you look up her Union Jack, it's like very, very thin. So I think it needs to like they just need to fatten that out a little bit. But everything else looked pretty good. Like her shield was just on point. Like how can you get that wrong?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just yeah, for me it's just the suit. Like the suit you just needed a little bit more work on. But yeah, seeing Peggy back, dude,
That
freaking
was awesome.
made my life.
Yeah,
I have such a
huge
crush
smile.
on Haley Atwell. It's not
Dude,
even funny.
I don't blame you. She's hot.
And then getting into like the main characters, Doctor Strange and Wanda.
Oh, I love that they brought in what outfit we saw her wearing at the end of WandaVision into this one, because, oh, chef's kiss, it looks so good. Although it's kind of weird with the headpiece, I feel like not the spikes at the end, but like the little things that like come like to by her cheeks, it did it look like they were kind of like lifted up, or did they look pressed down?
There were some times where it felt like both.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, and that kind of like bugged me, but I don't know which way I would have preferred it. would I want them pressed down or lifted up?
I have no idea. I really like. I know that like a lot of people were complaining about like the sleeves, but I think that just really showed the corruption that she was having with the Darkhold.
Yeah,
Because like if you notice on her outfit with this or in this movie versus or at the end of WandaVision. At the end of WandaVision, all of her like her bracers on her arms, on her gloves, and then all up through her like just the top portion of her outfit, it's all like a very deep red. But if you notice with the with this outfit in this movie, her sleeves are kind of black, and then they slowly become a little bit more red as you go down her arm, and she kind of has like a crack going through her suit. So I really liked seeing that, because it just shows like how corrupted she is with the Darkhold, and then like the black fingertips.
I was just about to bring those up. Did she have those at the end of WandaVision?
No. Agatha Harkness had those, but I don't think Wanda did.
I think that's such a nice touch, though. I love that.
Yeah, right? Because Agatha was also corrupted by the Darkhold.
Yeah, so it just makes sense.
Yeah, it's so interesting, like how they handled that. So I mean, the complaints that I have with the costumes, I feel are just like very minor gripes, but I feel like every one of these heroes you could pick out through like their silhouette, which are like my big requirements for good costumes.
Yeah, I agree.
So where are you at with costumes?
I'd say I'm sitting at a solid 8.
An 8?
Yeah. I feel like maybe the one that I feel it would be a 9, but the costume that takes it down for me is America Chavez's.
That was a tough one for me, because that is just as screen accurate as you can possibly get.
That's straight up all she wears in the comics?
Yeah, like...
Oh.
Look up America Chavez.
Okay, if that's the case, then we're giving it a 9.
Yeah, like, Google her right now. Like, she freaking wears a jean jacket with the red and white stripes on her sleeve and a big-ass star on her back.
Son of a bitch. Okay. Right.
Yeah, I think the only difference between this and like another, or like this movie and her comic version, is she wasn't wearing a t-shirt with a star on it.
Okay. We'll go a 9 then.
I mean, it wouldn't matter. We would have ended up at a 9 anyway, regardless of if you gave it a 9 or an 8. Because I was going to give it a 10.
Oh shit! Okay.
Just because I loved every freaking costume that they threw at us. I love the Defender outfit. I'll be real. I thought his hair was just like slicked back. I didn't realize it was like a ponytail, and so once I saw the ponytail, like his costume worked like way better for me.
Is it bad just because I hate that kind of hairstyle on a guy? I wanted to cut his ponytail off.
I mean, personal preference.
Yeah. I don't know. Whenever I see, maybe I don't know. I know he didn't have a man bun, but for some reason, I thought of that when I saw it. So I'm just like, where are my scissors?
Yeah. So I really, really dug that outfit. I thought it looked super cool. I really loved his outfit from 838's universe, like just the blue.
Oh yeah.
I thought that looked freaking killer. And then finally, like, this outfit, it did feel a lot more comic book accurate with everything. And I think the blue patch on his cloak is just like a really nice touch.
It is. I thought that was going to annoy me, but no, I agree. That was a very nice touch.
Yeah, it worked out super well. So, not complaining about it at all. So, I'm giving it a 10 costumes, but since we round down, it's going to be a 9.
Oh, so you just put a 9?
Yeah, if I would have put a 10, it would have averaged this out to it like a 9.5, and we don't apply for a 9.5.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of why I adjusted it.
Fair enough.
All right, and then last up, we got our own personal grade. So,
take this one?
Yeah, where are you at?
All right. So overall, super solid sequel for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Had a great time with this film. I know some of the cameos let people down. I enjoyed basically all of them. Wanda was amazing. Strange was amazing. Wong was amazing. America Chavez grew on me. That's the best way I could say it.
Fair.
Yeah. But no, overall, I had a really good time with this sequel, and for being the first MCU horror film, Sam Raimi delivered. But he directed Evil Dead, so like, is anyone really surprised? So I would say that my genre grade is, I'm going to go an 87. No, god damn it. Sorry. There we go.
Ooh. Yeah, I am way higher than you are. I will say I enjoyed this movie just as much, and this is going to be a bold thing to say, if not more, than Spider-Man No Way Home.
All right, I'm out.
And listen, this is my reasoning behind it. It was an amazing movie. But I feel like the one thing that Spider-Man had over this movie is Spider-Man was able to hit us in the nostalgia really freaking hard. And for a majority of the movie.
True.
So I don't remember what score I personally gave Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't show that far back.
Yeah, well, we also... Oh wait,
yeah,
did we have
Vic scores? Yeah, because Vic sent in his scores for that movie.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just looking really fast. Okay, yeah, we don't have those scores. But I know that we gave Spider-Man for like our overall score. We gave it a 98.
Damn, I didn't know we gave it that high. Holy shit.
Well, it's because Vic freaking 100%ed everything, which Vic was supposed to be part of this episode. But I decided he had better things to do, so...
I swear, Vic, if you're not on the next one that we invite you to, at least I am. I am officially saying that DJ is the third host of the All Bros. Yep.
Oh, damn!
I'm coming after you. So, if you back out of the next one we invite you on, I'm sorry, man. You're the fourth host now.
Oh, shit!
Suck on that.
Yeah, so I'm not quite up at like a 98, but I think I'll put this at what I feel like the same level as No Way Home. I'm going to go to a 96.
Okay.
Just because I loved this movie. I loved everything that they did with it. I love that they, even though this is like Multiverse of Madness, and you're thinking that he's going to jump from different universe to different universe, and I'm so glad that they just restrained it down to 2 main universes, and then like 1 additional that it's like kind of getting banished to.
Yeah.
And I appreciated the hell out of that. I loved the Illuminati sequences, even though it was very, very short. It just gave me enough of the characters that I was just like, okay, like I'm happy with this. But yeah, like overall, very happy with the movie. I loved this one. Cannot wait to go back and explore this movie and everything else that it has to offer, or things that I missed. But yeah, so I'm sitting at a 96. All right, well, that averages us out to a 91.5 for our personal score. So that brings our final All Bros letter grade for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness to A minus.
Okay. That's not bad. Actually, that's super good.
Yeah, so it's sitting at a 90.62%.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so it's definitely on the lower end of our A minus movies.
But it's still an A.
Yeah, still an A. Or an A minus.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. It's actually... Oh, wait. Forgot to reorder it. I was going to say it was at the bottom of our A minus scores, but no, it's not. Oh, man, this is interesting. All right. So, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, like I said, is sitting at a 90.62%. Which, like I also said, puts it at an A minus. Comparing this to other A minus movies that we have scored, this puts it below Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is at a 90.66%. It puts it below Promising Young Woman, which is at a 90.75.
Okay.
Puts it below Tusk, which is at a 90.79. Puts it below Turning Red, which is at a 90.87.
Okay.
And then it is also below the Untrained Eye Crash and Taz score for Spider-Man Far From Home, which is at a 90.93.
Okay.
And let me just reiterate, that is just the Untrained Eye Crash and Taz score. They sent me their scores. That is what they collectively gave Far From Home. But once we added it to our score, it was different.
Yeah.
So, anyway, which is freaking crazy. Because, like, the difference between that and... or between Doctor Strange and going up 5 movies to Spider-Man Far From Home, the difference is 0.3%.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, it's like, it's insane. I love doing this, dude. I love just like how... like, collectively, like, any of these movies, I could say, hey, this movie, A minus. Everyone would agree with me. Like, I feel like everyone could agree with me. Like, right? But being like, oh yeah, Turning Red is better than Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Like, I know I would catch shit for saying that.
I mean, not necessarily. I know there were quite a there's quite a bit of people that are not a fan of what Turning Red sets out to do with its story. So I could actually see people agreeing with you.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, I just think it's funny.
I can absolutely agree with that.
All right, let's see. But that a 90.62 puts Doctor Strange above Little Women, which is at a 90.61. So that is seriously a 0.01% difference.
Damn.
Puts it above 1917, which is at a 90.37%.
Yeah, I can agree with that one.
Puts it above Us and Soul, which are both at a 90.25%.
Okay.
And then finally puts it above The Matrix, which is at a 90.24%.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Sorry, DJ.
Yeah, like it's such. This is why I love our system, because it is seriously just percentages away, dude. Like no joke. This is. So I'll list off all of the movies above Doctor Strange until we get a full percentage away. Okay.
Okay.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Promising Young Woman, Tusk, Turning Red, the Spider-Man Far From Home score for Untrained Eye and Crash and Taz, like just their solo one. How to Train Your Dragon, Hidden World, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and Coco.
Wow.
All of those are within a single percent.
Wow.
Yeah, and technically the Batman is a full percentage difference between Doctor Strange and so the Batman's at 91.62, Doctor Strange is at 90.62.
Wow. Okay.
Like how crazy is that, dude?
That is super crazy. That's awesome though.
Man. Which is I freaking love our system, dude. Like you have no
I do
idea.
as well.
But anyway, so that concludes this week's breakdown.
If you guys liked what you heard and you want to hear more of our amazing voices, because who wouldn't? Be sure to follow us on basically wherever you listen to podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, all that fun jazz. And if you can't find us, you're probably on the wrong platform. You need to switch your podcast listening place. And if you prefer to listen this way, you can catch all of our episodes on YouTube. You can also follow us on social media, where you can also DM us with any of your episode ideas, or if you want to join us, that is a great way to get a hold of us. And also, our email is a great way, and I shall read all of those out now. So Facebook, you got facebook.com/The Allbros, Twitter and Instagram @The Allbros, TikTok, we are @The Allbros, and our email is theallbroschannel@gmail.com. If you want to check out our website, where you can get to know us a little more, and also a great place to directly buy merch from us, where you can actually pick out a design that you actually want and hasn't been stamped, copyrighted from other studios, even though Caleb puts so much time and effort into these amazing arts and doesn't steal anything. Our website, did I already say it? I don't think I did. Anyway.
I think so. I don't know.
Well, reiterate it, tinyurl.com/The Allbros. And if you would prefer to buy your merch a different way, you can do so at tpublic.com/user/The Allbros channel. Next week, it's kind of up in the air. We're deciding between two movies to break down. So we'll decide when that comes. And we got a huge surprise coming for you guys next week, so stay tuned. It's going to be awesome. We're very excited. So until then, this has been the All Bros Podcast. I am Jonathan.
Nah, I'm Caleb.
And we'll catch you guys next week. So long.
Deuces.